Hello and welcome to the Great Valley Mountain Bike Team. This video is intended for new riders and families that have either joined the team or are considering joining the team. My name is Jason Wirtz and I'm the head coach this season. So the purpose of this video is to provide general information about the team. One thing I do want to point out is that we provide specific season information in a family meeting, usually in June before the season begins. So if you are watching this video after that point in time, we should have a recording available for you with specific season information in it. If you're watching it before that point in time, take a look at TeamSnap and you will find when that meeting will be. In this video, we're going to talk about the league, we'll talk about the team itself and the coaches, we'll talk about the types of events we participate in and how we practice and where we practice. We'll also cover the costs for things like equipment and registration fees. All right, the league. First off, the Great Valley Mountain Bike Team mission statement: to provide a positive experience for all student athletes in accordance with NICA's 5 core principles: inclusivity, equality, strong body, strong mind, and strong character, by creating lifelong cyclists who are conscientious, responsible, and empowered. NICA is our national organization, the National Interscholastic Cycling Association. So benefits of the team for the kids and the community. Inclusivity. Everyone on the team rides. No one sits on the bench. We don't have cuts or tryouts. Students, athletes of all abilities are encouraged to participate in the team. Riders are grouped by their ability and fitness on the bike. So everybody that participates in the team will be riding with the group and having a good time at a level that they're able to remain safe and have fun while progressing their skills along with their peers. Equality. All student athletes are treated equally. So the team is open to middle and high school boys and girls. One thing that's important is that the team accumulates scores throughout the season, and boys and girls scores are put together to give us our team score. We compete with other teams across the league. So that's a pretty great thing. Student athletes are going to gain a strong character because we expect them to work hard, respect others, and give back to their team and community. You're going to see there's opportunities through the team for doing trail maintenance at local riding locations. Everybody on the team is always very respectful of other riders. You'll never hear riders criticizing others because they don't maybe they can't clear a certain feature. Everybody's super supportive, and it's actually one of the greatest things about this team that I think you'll see as you get to know us better. Obviously, we're riding bikes, so strong bodies. We promote physical fitness and well-being, and cycling's just it's a sport which you can participate in throughout your entire life. So it's a great time to get started. And then again, the first word in student athlete is student. So we also focus on strong minds and doing well, and importance of academics. You know, it's if you have to miss a practice because of a test or studying or homework, that's fine. There's going to be, you'll find that everyone is able to participate in the team at whatever level they would like. Some students are at every practice and go to races. Some students don't race but participate in practices. We are open to whatever level of participation you are comfortable with. NICA, the National Interscholastic Cycling Association. This is the umbrella organization for the entire country. Founded in 2009, they operate 32 leagues in 30 states. They organize, all the rules for the races, insurance, coach training, which you'll see is something that we all participate in, and kind of all of the organizational items. They build relationships with sponsors and bike manufacturers. They also organize a number of initiatives that are deployed at the state level, which you'll see that we'll talk about. They also run the registration system for the league, so you'll get to know about NICA through registration and signing up for races as well. So encourage you to check out nationalmtb.org to see what they do and everything provided by NICA. At the state level, the Pennsylvania Interscholastic Cycling League, or PICL, is who organizes on the ground all of our races, adventure rides. This is the organization that'll be selling merchandise at races and running the timing and all of the events. And you'll have a lot of interaction with PICL. They'll send emails out and they do fundraisers. Really great organization. They do a really wonderful job. 80 plus teams in the state, about 1,400 riders. At the time I pulled these statistics, over 850 coaches. So you can see that there's almost like a 2-to-1 ratio of riders to coaches. Again, PAMTB.org, another great resource to check out. And again, they work under that umbrella of NICA. It's worth it pointing out right away that safety is the number one priority of the team. Um, it's most people think mountain biking and they think extreme sports, but really what I want to emphasize is that the type of racing we do is called cross country, often abbreviated XC. It's equivalent to cross country running type races. We are riding on trails and there will be, rocks and roots, but there are no giant jumps. It is not extreme downhill. These are more physical fitness type of races that occur on grass and trails. And you will learn about the types of venues that we race at. But again, just to kind of make everybody feel a little bit safer, we are not a downhill league. This is not we don't do enduro. We don't do any extreme jumping is not even like a thing in NICA races. So just important to note. When we are riding, we are always, always, always focused on safety. So we will, both coaches and students are learning risk management. What can they effectively ride given their ability and their fitness? How do they, on the trails, we're reinforcing skills. If somebody, misses a feature, we will go back and work with them to see maybe why they did it. Things like even physical ability, if they're tired, something late in the ride that they could have hit earlier in the ride. Also then teaching them how to say like, oh, that looks dangerous. Maybe I should walk that feature as well. We're always focused on safety. It's our top priority. We practice out on the trails. We can also practice on areas, as smaller than a football field, actually. So a lot of times we might just practice in grass with cones and pool noodles. And we tend to do skills exercises that are often games, but help us build, balance and other types of skills on the bike. Yeah, when we're riding on trails, everything emphasizes the topics we cover in practice. So we're always reinforcing how to be safe and improve our ability and handling on the bike. We also will do things that allow us to reinforce race conditions. So you'll see at some practices, we practice group starts and, feed zone, how to grab a bottle in mid-race, things like that that are super important, passing and being passed. So while racing is a component and everybody will learn some of those skills, like I said before, we don't really, racing is not required, but it's, we make sure that everybody's getting the skills they need to participate at all levels if they eventually want to do so. And again, safety, number one priority. I'll just keep saying that again. And you'll note that all coaches have training requirements, and we'll talk about that here in a slide or two. So the general outline of our season is as follows. The season runs from July 1st until mid-November. There are preseason activities that start happening, though, in January and February. Coach registration usually opens up around March 1st. Rider registration usually opens up around April 1st. So in that March through June, in those months, we have a number of preseason activities. There are coach rides and a coach retreat to get us ready for the season. Coaches start riding before the kids because we need all the help we can get to get in shape to keep up with them on the trails. It can be a challenge. We do all of our preseason planning. We also start doing trail maintenance, which riders can participate in, and I'll talk about that a little bit, where we always want to give back at the locations where we ride. So we participate in activities like clearing brush from the trails, trimming back, foliage, helping clear trees and down branches and stuff like that. And those opportunities will be posted throughout that time. The last couple of years, in mid-June, we've run a trip to Kingdom Trails, which is in Vermont, we've got information on that up on our website. That's open to returning riders, but definitely something we'll talk about with all families. And if you have interest in that, just let us know. We're always happy to talk about it. So our season usually begins, the season begins July 1st. That's technically when insurance kicks in. So our practices begin after the 4th of July holiday. Usually the Saturday after that, we have our first team ride. And then that full week after that, we start new riders and skills camp. That runs until late August. Summer practices, just kind of getting prepared for things. Then our event season begins in late August. These are adventure rides and races. Races and adventure rides go through the end of October. The last item that happens in our season is a celebration of the Pickle League at Raystown, which is in central PA, if you've never been there. It's wonderful. And that's a celebration of the league where they have awards and, riders are recognized for a number of things. And then we usually ride until our insurance runs out, which is in mid-November. So we try to stay on the bikes as long as possible. At that point, it's pretty much just having fun. All right, so let's talk about the team and the coaches. We are what Pickle would call a trail team. We do a lot of just free riding out on the trails, and we are very focused on fun and riding with friends out in the woods and having a good time. There are other teams that are very race focused. But what I want to say is while we are focused on fun, if you are someone who is very race focused and you are very interested in taking racing seriously, we have a great coaching team and we can help you do that. And the reason is we help every rider identify and set their own achievable goals for the season. So if your race is to podium at one or more races and make a run for the, points at the state level to try and win in your category, like we can help you work towards that goal. We have a great group and we are not, we will not hesitate to help you get there. But like I said, the initial philosophy of the team is just really having a good time and being safe and riding bikes and progressing our skills and just enjoying being outside. Practices are going to be geared towards making sure everybody can achieve the goals that they set. Coaches on the team have all completed training and license requirements as defined by NICA. Talk about those in a second. NICA coaches put safety, overall well-being of their riders first, always the number one priority. We try to be role models and teachers to all the students that are riding on the team, and basically teaching everybody the best practices of youth mountain biking, right? Like how to be safe on the bike. We have learned how to what types of skills make a rider safe. We have also learned how to properly teach those skills to the riders. Coach training exists at 3 levels. The first level of training is ride support. So if you're a new parent and thinking about riding with the team, I'd highly encourage you to get a level 1 certification. And it is great. There's no need that you even have experience on the bike. We've got a lot of kids on the team who are new to bike riding as well, and you would be a great coach for them. I highly encourage everybody to coach. Level 2, as you progress up the ladder, gives you the ability to lead rides out on the trails. And then finally, if you're interested in team leadership, level 3 is head coach, lead coaches, level of certification. Our team is awesome. We have a great coach to rider ratio. So we have a lot of coaches that participate in the team, and it's really great. Types of things that occur for coach certifications. Every year, all coaches go through a background check. So if you've ever done any type of volunteer work, especially like scouts, it's very similar to that process. Every year we go over concussion training. Obviously, helmets are a critical piece of equipment for us, and bike riding, there's some inherent dangers. So we always make sure that, obviously, like in all sports, concussion training is critical to make sure we're keeping students safe and identifying problems before they could be worse. So we go through the NICA philosophy and risk management every year. Everybody that goes through coach training for level 2 or 3 goes through this training called On the Bike 101. Essentially, that teaches us the specific skills and how to teach them to the riders, which is great. And then anyone in level 3 goes through a leader summit, which has also been really helpful. Every level has its own license training. We all go through athlete abuse awareness training, and everybody goes through first aid and CPR that are at level 2 or level 3. So we have a lot of different ways to make sure that riders are safe, practicing on the trails, and within the environment or community of the team. You should be a coach. Please consider it. Coaches train coaches as well as student athletes. I have been trained by other coaches. All coaches that come into the team are, we teach mountain biking to everybody, not just the kids. So if you are interested, reach out and talk a little bit about what it takes to be a level 1 coach. And just like, kids are grouped by ability, we put coaches in with groups that match their ability and fitness level as well. The kids are always in better shape than us, though, right? So anyway, you can help also coach by volunteering off the bike. We always need parents in the parking lot, and certified coaches in the parking lot are actually even better, because if somebody has a mechanical or a broken bike, you can kind of help them work on some skills. So maybe they only have one gear, their shifting's broke. Well, there's still some work they can do on the bike, right? Like we can give them some skills with that case. And then even at races, we're always looking for help at the team tent. Or other event weekend type of situations that we have during the season. It's fun. You'll get in shape. And then finally, we also have some e-bikes that we use within the coaches. So if we're constantly riding with groups that are wearing us out. An e-bike can give us a break to kind of get some recovery in. For coaches that are really new, they can be a really great way to get out on the trails if you're still building fitness. So the e-bikes are there for use by coaches, and they've been a great tool for a lot of us to really experience riding with all of the team, and again to grow our skills. Team is insured. All of that happens through NICA. When you sign up for the league, you sign up for the team. Insurance is attached, and it covers everybody involved with the team. So if you're a coach, that's attached. If you're a rider, that's attached. We also have waivers for volunteers to sign as well. So the league, again, from a safety standpoint, there's a link here where you can find more about the insurance. So what does a practice look like? So the team rides together at the same location. We have our entire team ride at the same location at the same time. Some teams will split up and ride different locations, maybe with some of the more advanced riders going to a more advanced location. We don't do that. We're really focused on the community of the team, and we like having everybody at one place. And it's been a really great experience to do so for us. Again, riders experienced by group by experience, condition, skill. We are always, as coaches, evaluating riders to make sure they're in their appropriate group, and making sure nobody's pushed beyond their current ability. So we will make sure if somebody, kids always want to ride up because it's what they want to do, and we understand that, but we're always trying to make sure that, well, they might have the fitness, but maybe they don't have the on-bike skills yet. We are always working to make sure that students are appropriate within a group, or somebody maybe was out sick from school for a couple of days and now they're riding. We might bump them down a group just so they can get some of their conditioning back, or somebody's coming back from an injury. Those types of things. We are constantly moving students around to make sure they're having fun, and everybody around them is also having fun, and really that's a key piece to what we do. We're always open to students wanting to be in other groups. So, if somebody says, "Hey, I think maybe I should be in another group," you're welcome to ask the coaches. But ultimately, that's coaches are going to make that decision based upon how students perform and stay safe. Right? Again, the key there. Some nights we might combine groups. We do that a lot, which is, if we don't have, depending on the number of riders and coaches, we might kind of combine some of the groups that are near each other in skills, obviously still staying on things that are safe for everybody. We've also had some really great experience with bringing the kind of the high school riders, the seniors and the juniors, and having them ride down with some of the newer riders, and that's been really great. So the riders within the team can teach skills to other riders on the team, and those are always some of our I think everybody has really, like, those are, I would say the riders would say those are some of the best things that we do. All right, what do? We have 3 rides per week. Attendance is tracked in TeamSnap, and you are expected in TeamSnap to say, "Hey, I will be there. I will not be there." If you've ever used TeamSnap, we're happy to show you how to use it. You set your availability. It's something you'll get an invite to when you join the team, and you'll see the whole schedule in there. And you say, "Yep, I'll be at that one. Nope, I can't make that one. Yep, I can be at that one." Rides are Tuesdays and Thursdays, so we ride Tuesdays and Thursdays from 5 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Depending on the weather, we may adjust that. So if it's really hot, we might start like a half hour later. If it's as it gets dark, we usually don't start before 5:30, but we do ride in the dark. We do ride with lights as the fall progresses. And we try to keep the Tuesday, Thursday night rides to less than a 30-minute drive. So you'll see the locations we ride in a bit. Saturday rides are from 9 to noon, and they could require driving up to 1 hour. So these are when we ride. Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, and those are the general timeframes. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, we tend to ride Brightside Farm Park in Charlestown Township. We call that the Grove. We really only ride there in the summer. That's our skills building, fitness building location. We ride Marsh Creek State Park. We ride Harmony Hill. Those are probably our 2 main locations for riding. In the past, we've ridden Valley Forge. We may ride that some this season. It's not as well maintained, and there was a lot of issues with bees and downed logs and stuff. So we'll see. That could work its way into the schedule. On Saturday rides, we tend to go to places like Brandywine State Park, which is right at the PA-Delaware state line on 202, White Clay in Delaware, one of our favorite places to ride, Fair Hill in Maryland. The White Clay and Fair Hill are right next to each other. Trexler, PA, one of the team's favorite places to ride. That's more machine built, just a good time. And then we're also always looking to add new places. Sometimes we'll ride up by Reading at Blue Marsh Creek, and a couple of different places we're looking at adding. You can see the locations that we ride by going to this link. Team Snap is where all of the team schedule will appear, and it is where you set availability for all rides. It's also where team communications happen, whether they be chat, email, etc. So Team Snap, again, when you join the team, you got an invite. If you have questions about using it, let us know. But it is the hub for all team communications. So what type of events do we participate in? Races. So racing is optional, but it's a lot of fun. And racing can be at the level of your athlete. Again, you will see that racers are put into categories, either based upon grade or ability. And how you race that race is going to be up to you. And I'll talk about what I mean by that in a second. So races within Pickle require an additional registration and fee. So there's going to be the season fee, and then there'll be race fees. If you can, usually they have an all-in fee which covers all races for the season. That's super reasonably priced, that you can it's way cheaper than doing each one individually, as long as you register by the end of the I believe end of August for that. So for high school riders, they're going to be grouped by skills and fitness, not grade. So when you get into high school, it's definitely going to be like a JV varsity type of situation. We'll talk about the different skill levels. So it's possible you could have, a 10th grade rider riding with 12th graders, just based on fitness. Middle school riders, grouped by grade, but can be reclassified. So in middle school, you're going to see that, 6, 7, 8, 9, grouping. And with that said, if there's a really fast seventh grader, sometimes they move them to a different category to make it fair. There are also within the middle school categories, there's some more advanced levels. So anyway, as of a year ago, Pickle implemented statewide conferences. We are in the Eastern Gold Conference this season. So there are statewide events and there are conference events. Races, some are going to be single day events and others are going to be multi-day events. Some may require a hotel or camping. It really just depends on the event, and the amount of tolerance you have for driving and travel. I will say that newer seasons have less driving than past season because of the regional conferences, but there's going to be, getting out to Raystown, it's like a 4-hour drive. Depending on where some of the other events are, it could be, 2 to 4 hours. I mean, Pittsburgh used to be the furthest we go. So I don't think any events are going to be that far, but pretty close. So the one thing I had mentioned about different levels of racing is at most races, they also have this thing called a try-it lap where you can go out and ride one lap. So you get the experience of a group start and you just see if it's something you want to do, if you like it. They have not been charging for that, and it's just a really great way to try racing. I will also say this: if you're thinking about racing, let us know. There's no expectation, like your goal for the race will be not, I mean, maybe you want to win a race, that would be great, but it's going to be just, if it's your first race, your goal is going to be getting a good start, finishing the race, kind of feeling what it's like to be in a race. Like everybody's going to have different goals. So, don't think like, oh, I'm in this race, I have to be going for the win. Depending on, how new you are to the sport and where you are within your riding skills, everybody's going to have different goals within a race. And especially for a first race or a first season, just getting comfortable riding with others, trying to figure out what speed you can go, how you manage in traffic, those types of things are just excellent type of goals that riders can set for themselves. Here's a sample of some of the race categories. I won't really talk about this, but I'll leave this up if you want to pause the video and check it out. But you can see that the high school classes run like JV3, 2, 1, and varsity. And you can see the types of organization that they have for those items. So. And here's some pictures of some of our riders racing at some events, so you can get a feel for, the fact that, you can see that the courses go over grass. I didn't have a picture of some, but there are roots and rocks, and we are in the woods. These are kind of coming out of the woods. These are the easy spots to photograph at some of the races. So what's a race day or weekend look like? When we get to event weekends or days, there's this thing called the pit zone, which is where all teams will be set up when you arrive, and we'll have a team tent in that pit zone. And we'll be with all of their teams. So each category is going to have a scheduled time to race. So you'll know what category you're in. You'll know what time you need to race. We'll tell you when to be there in advance. Prior to the race, there are specific times that the course will be open for pre-rides. We encourage everybody to pre-ride so you can get a feel of like what the race course looks like. We'll have coaches there to warm you up, to talk strategy, to take you on a pre-ride, to help make minor bike adjustments. Hey, my brakes are a little feeling a little bit weird, or maybe my shifting is not perfect, sometimes we can help with those types of things. There's also support, usually from Trek or some other bike company or shop to help out with minor repairs. Big repairs do not happen race day, but minor issues obviously can be dealt with. Coaches, like I said, warm up and get everybody staged at the right time. The team tent is where everybody will be hanging out cheering team members, and it's where we'll keep your gear when you're racing, and you're there for the day. And it's just a great party atmosphere. So if you've ever been to like a any sporting event, Phillies game, Eagles game, whatever, it has that feel. So it's pretty fun. There's always stuff to buy, merchandise, food. There's other things happening during the day, so it's really great. In addition to races, there are these things called adventure rides. There's going to be two included with registration. We start the season and end the season with adventure rides. They are like a minimal level of competition. Usually what happens is we get to ride somewhere new. And basically we ride the trails in groups and look for things on the trail. In the past, we had to find little lawn gnomes or names of songs, and you take pictures of them, or you find Scrabble tiles, and then you come back and try to make as many words as you can with the Scrabble tiles. So they're competition, but they are, meant to be more fun, and it's just a great way to get to know the team and bond as a team, but also meet other teams in a non-race environment. With that said, when there are race weekends, a lot of times there will also be adventure experiences. So if you want to go to a race, but you don't want to race, but you would like to ride, there are opportunities to show up on a race weekend, and they'll have a separate course where you and a coach and a group, we can get a group together and a group of coaches and go out and essentially have a ride and still get to see what it's like to be at a race weekend. And again, super fun experience. Within NICA and Pickle, there are a couple of initiatives that are worth mentioning. Girls Riding Together Grit is just really creating a welcoming environment for girls and women in mountain biking, really trying to increase the participation of female student athletes in mountain biking. So it's an initiative. They run a lot of great events at race weekends. They'll have a grit tent, but then they also run events like they'll do night rides and kind of other, especially fundraisers and things for the weekend. So this is pretty great. So it's a great way to get more people involved in the sport. And if there's anybody interested in learning more about this, let me know. And we do have coaches that are this season dedicated as a grit coach. Awesome initiative. Team Trail Corps is also another initiative, which is organized. The team earns points, and students can earn points for doing volunteer trail maintenance work throughout the season. It is a really, really great way for us to give back to the trails we ride, and also to help you out. So if you're, if you are really into trying to accumulate as many points as you can for the season, you want to get into Team Trail Corps because you can't collect all of your season points on the trail. You need to get in the race. You need to get some of those points by doing some volunteer work. So it's really great. And again, we also have a dedicated coach to managing Team Trail Corps type initiative stuff. So doing trail maintenance. And sometimes at practice, we will maybe stop a ride and for a half hour go cut down some weeds and help out. We've got access to tools, age appropriate tools that we can help out at some of the locations we ride. So just something that's good to note. You can find all about the season events at this URL. This is the full season schedule. We will discuss the current full season schedule at the preseason meeting that's held prior to the start of the season in July. All right, so what are the costs? For the season, the 2025 season, so whenever you're watching this, hopefully this video can get used for a few years. The total fees for someone that's not racing would be $355 for the season. If you are racing, that would be $440. So how that breaks down. The team itself, we have a $100 team fee that we charge, which helps cover team expenses, but it also includes your team jersey. So this is used for a number of things. We have team bikes, so it helps with the storing of those and any type of things that we need for tri rides. There are reimbursements for things like we have a trailer, so for maintaining the trailer and keeping the team running, basically. There is a fee paid to NICA and Pickle. This is what you'll be paid in Pit Zone. For this season, it's a total of $255. This is your membership fee into NICA. The main thing this covers is your insurance. And essentially, this is processing fees and all those types of things related to the managing organization. Uh, and also, some of that comes back to pickle as well. So it's split between them. And then finally, if you want to race, so if you don't race, your all-in cost for the season is 355. If you want to race, there's an $85 all-in, which covers all of the races for a season. And I forget the exact number, but it's like 4 or 5 races, five maybe. And that would bump you up to 440. If you're not sure you want to race or you think you can only make one race, they charge $45 per event. So if you think you're going to do more than one race, it's worth doing the all-in. There are scholarships available. So if you qualify for free lunch at the schools, then usually you qualify for the scholarships that NICA provides. But there are other criteria, so I would encourage anybody to please take a look at these scholarship opportunities. Cover team and league fees. If team fees are an issue, always please talk to a coach. That's something we can discuss. Um, Try. There's this great scholarship from Trek. I would encourage you to go to this link. Provides, what are the qualifications for that, and almost all of these things I believe have a deadline of August 31st. So there's also these Every Kid Sports. These can provide reimbursement for league fees. Again, I would just encourage you to take a look at these links. You can find a whole list of information related to financial aid in terms of opportunities, both either from within the league or with outside the league, at that link and that resource provided by Pickle. But again, talk to us if there's a financial issue. Please, the team, we realize this is an expensive sport, and if there's ways that we can help, please reach out. So let's talk a little bit about equipment, bikes and helmets. The number one most important piece of gear you will have is a helmet. Everybody needs to have a quality mountain bike helmet that is on the newer side. It's going to be worn at all times during events. If your leg is over the bar, your helmet is on. We never ride a bike without a helmet on our heads. If you have questions about what is required, it should be a mountain bike helmet that comes down over the back of the head. There are specific safety requirements that we look for. And again, a helmet should be newer than 5 years old, because obviously they kind of degrade over time. If you've had a helmet for a while and you've thrown it on the ground, it might be a time to look at getting a new helmet. So just that obviously the most important thing to us is helmets. Next up is your bike. We need mountain bikes, so they should have at least 2-inch wide knobby tires, straight handlebars. They need to have gears. Mountain bikes generally look like this picture up here on the left. There's a bunch of features that advanced features that some bikes have that others don't, but you don't necessarily need anything more than these basics. Obviously, a bike with suspension where at least the front fork is able to compress to help absorb impact as we go over rocks. If you have questions about your bike, or if you have are thinking about buying a new bike, please talk to the coaches. We're always happy to talk gear. And we do have a preseason bike check that'll be in TeamSnap, which is a great opportunity to bring your bike out. Let us talk to you about your bike, and we can help make minor tune-ups, or if we think you need to get to a shop, or if you're thinking about getting a new bike, or we can make recommendations. Keep an eye on that. That's going to be something that'll be up in TeamSnap. So like I said, required helmet should be less than 5 years old and meet one of these safety requirements. We do require that all students that ride have a number of items on them at all time. These items are really important. So everybody needs to have a spare tube and tire levers. It's not if you will get a flat tire, it's when you will get a flat tire. So we want to make sure everybody's got a spare tube and tire levers. Everybody should have a small multi-tool. Please don't assume that someone you're riding with has one. A bike tool that can help you make minor repairs, tighten screws, things like that is important because stuff does rattle loose. You need to ride in sneakers, no flip-flops. You don't need dedicated cycling shoes, but just a quality pair of like skate shoes are usually pretty good, but any type of sneaker will do. Everybody needs a water bottle or hydration system. We recommend a hydration pack like a Camelback, because then you can put all of your other stuff in it. So like your multi-tool and your spare tube and tire levers and your snacks for the ride. So a hydration system with a kind of a bite valve and a tube is what we recommend. And you need to be able to carry food and water for rides that last 2 to 3 hours. And especially for practices after school, or if you haven't really had a chance to eat, or you're going to need more fuel than you think you do. So having the ability to carry it and water in large quantities is going to be important. You can find a full list on our website at gvmtb.org gear-list. And if you have questions about these items, let us know. We're always happy to again help advise on these items. If you are a rider and you are a coach, you get specific benefits from the league. You get bike discounts up to 25% from Trek Specialized, and this season they added bikesonline.com. So some good discounts. I think the bikesonline.com is 25%, but don't you want to check the link down here for athlete coach benefits for the specifics. You also get discounts on a number of sites for that sell nutrition items, bike components, bike racks, apparel. It's one of the great features of being a part of this league. Really want to encourage students and families to consider the bike discounts if you're looking to upgrade, obviously, because it lets you kind of get a bike at a higher tier of quality than otherwise. So, and again, having a quality bike is going to cause less maintenance troubles. Every bike needs maintenance, but having the best bike that fits your budget is going to be help you further along in the season and for future seasons. So we have a limited number of team bikes that you can use during the season that riders or coaches can use. They can either be used for a long or short period of time. So let's say your bike's in the shop and you just need a bike for a week or two. We can usually provide that if the bikes are available. For those using a bike for the full season, let's say you just know your athlete is ready to grow like 2 feet and you don't really want to commit to buying a bike. If we do have a team bike available, you can use that bike for the full season. Starting this year, we're charging a $150 fee to cover maintenance on those. So if you know about bike maintenance, chains, tires, just parts and maintenance add up. So we do need to have some type of help with that. So that is something that is new to the team this season, but is going to make the bikes last longer for the team. And again, should you meet any of the NICA scholarship eligibility requirements, the team can waive that fee for you. So again, something to talk about. But again, like a great way to say, oh, I know my athlete's going to not fit on this bike next season. We have some opportunities for that. So yes, speak to a coach if this is interest. And if you have an older bike that might be of use to the team, maybe you buy a new bike and you want to donate your student athlete's previous bike, talk to us. We may be interested in taking that bike. So we're always happy. We are actually a 501c3 organization, so donations to us are have a tax deduction. So, all right. So to wrap it up, to join the team, go to our website and fill out the form if you have not already done so. Keep an eye on your inbox. Once you have filled out that form, hopefully within a day or two, we will send you 2 invites. One will be to Pit Zone, which is where you register and pay for the league fees, and Team Snap, which is where we hold all team communications and where you'll set availability for rides and events. So that is the most important thing to do, is join the team. Here's a list of resources that were just kind of previous. So our team website, NICA's website, Pickle's website. Best way to get hold of us is the coach email box. A bunch of us keep an eye on that. So greatvalleymtb@gmail.com. And again, a reminder of where all of those scholarships are found. Thank you for your time. I know this was a lot of information, but hopefully this answers many of your questions. If I can provide additional information, please send us an email. And thanks for watching.